This show is sponsored by PowerfulWomenUSA.com. Head there to see all previous shows, and by Jackie Mahaley Photography, where personal branding, photography, and video help women entrepreneurs over 40 feel confident, beautiful, and seen. Start getting paid what you're worth, JackieMahaley.com, when it's time to elevate your brand and your image. Hey, everybody, I'm Jill Conway, and this is Secrets of Powerful Women, a show dedicated to celebrating and supporting strong and successful women and sharing their stories. I'm hoping that you will be inspired to pursue your own dreams after listening, reclaim your voice, and discover your strengths. So my guest today is Amita Nathani. She is a top clothing designer in India, and she has expanded her brand around the world with fashion houses in New York City and now London. I hope I'm allowed to say that. Welcome aboard, Amita.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Jill, it's so nice to see you as well.
Oh, it's so great. So congratulations, first of all, on your expansion into the UK.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a recent success, and I'm very excited about it.
So you are a phenomenal designer, clothing designer. So I want to talk about that because, well, first of all, I want to say a mutual friend connected us, and on the phone, we spoke for, I think it was an hour. It could have been more.
Yes.
And I think you're incredible, and I just wanted to say that, and I just want the world to know about you more so than they maybe reach more people.
Thank you. You're very kind.
So tell us how you got started, because you have an incredible story too. How did you get started designing?
So back in India, when I was studying, and I was graduating from a college, my family wanted me to do masters in academics, and I was pursuing my master's when I realized that I was naturally drawn to fashion and textile and beautiful artistic, artisanal techniques, which I grew up with, because India has a very rich heritage and history of textiles. And I grew up with that surrounding me, with my mother or aunts and friends' mothers and grandmothers, wearing those beautiful saris, and of course we also studied the history of textile in schools. So I was naturally drawn to it. So I went to speak to my dad, and I said I want to do fashion. And at that time, it was quite a surprise for my family and for him, because it was an unconventional approach. He was like, okay, how are you going to make this career or a profession or a success out of it? I'm very blessed, because my mother was always, telling me that I need to be independent first, then thinking of probably, getting married or settling down. She said, you have to stand on your 2 feet first. And she's been a housewife all her life, but, she said, that's important. You got to do it. So I said, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm drawn to fashion. I'm drawn to textile. I want to study it. So I dropped my master's, and I enrolled myself in a design school, and rest is history. I just started from there. I did 1-year course in fashion, where they taught me how to draw and make pattern and, all those technical education. It was kind of semi-formal, I would say. And then I did few jobs in export houses back in India. These were manufacturing units, like factories where the real thing was happening, right? We came to, and I learned a lot. There were really, the skilled workers were working in the factories, and we were working with overseas clients there. So I learned a lot. I took some jobs before I started on my own. And I think I worked for companies for almost 3 to 4 years, learned a lot. And then I said, okay, it's time for me to start on my own. And I started with a very small sampling room back in India. I had 4 to 5 tailors. I'm very lucky and blessed also, I would say again and again. I'm very thankful that I had an American designer who lived in India, and he was very successful. He passed away a couple of years ago, but he was very successful in the United States. And so I created a line, because I knew that he he would always give chance to new designers, new startup companies. So I reached out to him and I said, it took me 6 months to reach out to him. And I spoke with him and I said, I have, I want to come and meet you. And he said, what do you got? And I said, I'm going to present a nice collection, which I think you would like, because he really did a lot of, he did artisanal. Everything was artisanal in his collection, handmade, techniques from India. And he loved to produce that. He loved to design that. So I made a small collection, and I went and I met him, and he looked at me and he said, who is the owner of your company? And I said, I am the owner of my company. So
is that the first time you said that? Maybe out loud, right?
Yes, because
that's a powerful moment. Yeah.
So I said, I am. And he looked at me and I was like, okay. And rest is history. I started working with him very small. He became my mentor. I learned a lot of fashion world, working along with him. He was great. And then rest is history. And then I just, it grew. And then I started working with Europe in a small way. Then it also grew a little bigger. And then in 2011, I opened the office here in New York. And so this is the journey it took me to reach here.
Was it in your view, because I know you're also a very spiritual person, and we'll talk about that in a little while, but did you find the steps like open up easy for you once you found your flow? Because you said that you didn't go to school initially. When you were younger, right? Like you probably, I don't know. I mean, how'd your family wanted you to do something else, or didn't even consider fashion, right?
Yes. Yeah. They didn't consider fashion, but they were supportive. So that was nice. That was good. It was great. But yes, I mean, it was not easy. There were challenges everywhere. And I think what helped me was that I knew one thing, that creativity and innovation, and I followed steps. When I met some successful people from fashion business, I heard their stories. I came to know what they did, how they did it. And so I tried to follow those steps. And I think that helped me definitely, reaching out to clients, how to market, how to make a collection and talk about your product. So all that I did, and it was a learning curve, and it's just continuous learning, right? Life is like that, work is like that. So no, there were challenges, and there still are. You just have to face them, and have a positive perception. I guess that helps a lot. Converting negative into positive is something I really rely on. No matter what, right? Show up and be authentic. And I think these are the tools which I learned over time. It was not easy, but I did a lot of self-help and self-improvement. I really believe in that.
What do you mean? What did you do when you say like I did self-help?
Because I was on my own, starting this business and learning fashion, and of course,
and it was all new to you. I mean, I know you said you grew up like with beautiful, clothing and in those beautiful, vibrant colors. But yeah, I mean, this is I wouldn't know how to even start something like that. So that's why I ask.
Yes. So it was totally new. I mean, obviously that's one part of fashion, is that there's textile and their clothes, but how to make the product and how to present it, right? And how to market it and how to make that into successful business is another part. And since I did not have that strong, I did not come up from a business family or family who did fashion business. It was all by myself. And of course I had other support, and I'm very thankful for that. But, it's just that self-improvement, meaning, I mean, I just tried to learn more and more, and tried those ideas. I had some new ideas, and I said, well, I should try it. I should, so what if I'm in India? I can call up overseas and talk to this, probably, the sourcing manager or a designer in that company overseas, and I would just pick up my phone and call and say, I'm calling from India and I have a small company, and please give me an opportunity to present my product and see my facilities. I would like to meet you. And I would get positive response, and it would also surprise people in a nice way. So just kind of trying to think creatively, and also applying that, those ideas, and trying to experiment, and see what would be the result. And of course there were disappointments as well, but again, just being positive and being thankful, and have faith, just so I think I would just come back, right, and to myself and say, thank you, universe, like, tell me what is my next step, what should be, or just trying to reconnect with the prayers and faith. And I think that's natural for probably people, because when you have you have to make your own decisions, and you have to you have to be out in the world and make make your career successful, and starting from scratch. I think you do develop that faith, and it's nice to do that, because it helps you. It helped me a lot. Yeah. So, and I think that's what probably also gives you confidence, and gives you clarity of purpose. So yeah, so, and of course, I mean, I love doing what I do, and at the same time, I think it's just it's what I'm meant to do, and I'm very thankful for that.
Well, how do you know? That's a good question for people, because I'm sure there's a lot of people love fashion, right? And they're like, oh, I could probably design clothes, but how do you know when it's your purpose? Like you know. Is it synchronicities? What is it? What did you find?
I think it's what you're drawn to. What's your inner calling? What do you try? What you keep going back to? It's like that kind of a gut. It's a feeling, right? Of course, there is education with it. There's technical things we need to learn with it, but there is a gut. Like you're drawn to that, and then that's exactly what happened to me, because when I was I would always be interested to see what my friends are wearing, or where are they going, and I would just suggest them, why don't you try this color, or why don't you try this outfit, or why don't you do this, and that, like trying to talk about fashion. And when I was studying, I think it just became my passion, like, okay, where the colors and the drapes and the colors for the seasons and the fabrics. And I started reading books on different textiles. So I think it's just the inner calling which we need to follow. Most of the times I think it works.
Right. Well, it's so funny because what did you want to do when you were young, when you were a young kid? Did you see yourself doing this? I think you said you were studying economics or accounting. What were you studying?
No, yes, I was studying actually history in my major. But when I was a little child, I was actually drawn to art. I thought I wanted to be an artist. And then, of course, the family was, everybody was like a doctor or an engineer or an accountant, right. Or, so that was all cousins and, your family. So you kind of get like that conditioning. When you're looking at them, they go to school and everybody's talking about that in the family. So yeah, so that was what it was. And I was like little wave, when I was in high school, everybody's asking like, oh, so what's your next step, right? Are you going to, get like good grades in maths, and will you be becoming a professor or a teacher or something like that? So it was always a conversation, but somehow and of course I did think like that for a little time as well. Yeah. And then And then I did pursue my studies, and then boom, there was like, I just don't think so. I'm going to do this. I'm going to study fashion, and I'm going to start my own business. That was that was a dream.
I mean, were people shocked when you said that, like your parents, when you said, I mean, because, right, you said like when your whole family are doctors and all these things, and you're like, I'm going to be a fashion designer. I would think sometimes, they're like,
Yes.
can you make money off that? I mean,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely
Yeah,
apprehensive,
sure.
right? And yeah, and
And they mean well, and they
they
mean
mean
well.
well. They
Yes.
definitely mean well. They were like, oh, but you know what? Really, are you going to like be at a workshop and working with tailors, and like it's hard work. It's not. It's like a lot of hard work. And would you like to do that, or would you just like to go and sit in an office and do a desk job, which is or teach and have few hours in a day, and then of course you also have a family life, right? Because you get married and you have this secure job and a family, right? So that's what most of the families, most of us are probably conditioned to think like that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, of course. It's the
Yes.
cultural, right?
So,
I mean, right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, yeah, no, total. I mean, they were like, oh, we don't know how's this going to happen. And when I started a little workshop, they were like, oh my God, like, and I had just a small room, and oh, this is what's going to be like, how long it's going to take you, and so yeah, and I'm like, okay, we'll see, I don't know, I'm just doing my job right now, and being thankful and hoping for the best for the future.
Right.
Yeah.
So at what point, because now you have headquarters in India still, right? And you
Yes.
have a massive workforce, right?
Yes.
I mean, you have a lot of employees.
Yes.
So at what point did you, I always ask this, what point was that pinch me moment, or that moment, or have you reached it where you said, I'm doing pretty well. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah. Well, that happened to me when I opened my office here in New York City. And before that, I mean, the business was very good in India. And of course, I have my factories in India. Everything is made in my factories. The design till shipping, everything A to Z for the clothing. And we work with, very big companies in United States. And I work with the best of the best brands in France, in Europe. And we actually it was a very different setup we had, because the designers came to my showroom and they wanted to pick styles and pick, they would just take inspiration. It was kind of a inspiration for them to come and see and pick garments and styles and design, and make it their own, and tweak them as well, and make it their own. So because fashion business works both ways, right? Everybody's taking inspiration from something. We need to get inspired, so that became like and I still is, my company, my showroom still is hub of design. Like, it's a kind of a candy store for my designers who come in, and they love the fabrics and what we present them in design product. So yeah, and so I think when they came into the showroom was, and when the best of the brands started coming in, that was a proud moment. Sure. But yes, it was that great. And then I'm present, this is the representation of the artisanal, beautiful handwork, and which could be used in a contemporary way globally, is something really, really made me feel proud.
Wow. Your clothes are beautiful. And we only have about a minute and a half left before we go into commercial break. But in the next break, I want to talk specifically about your clothes and why you chose to do those lines. But would you say, I mean, gosh, I mean, it's so amazing. And I think it's so important for women such as yourselves, and every woman, when you've achieved a success, it's okay to be proud of yourself, and it's okay to say, yes, I did it. Because I feel like some people say it's not okay. I don't want to brag or something, but it's not it's not bragging. It's being proud of yourself.
Yes, I agree. And it's always good to feel that way and also show up like that way. Yes, because the only thing people can do when you are successful and you take care of yourself and you show up as who you are, confident, the only thing they can give you is respect and accept you as this great successful powerful lady. I think that's a aha moment. I think it's just so great.
Yeah, you have to step into your power, right? You got to step in.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be back with Amita Nathani after the commercial break. You're listening to Secrets of Powerful Women. If you love what you're listening to, please subscribe to Secrets on whatever podcast platform you listen to and never miss an episode. And help me get the word out. Share this with your friends because this is really good. Hi, everybody. I'm Jill Conway. If you love what you're listening to, please like and subscribe to my channel on whatever podcast platform you listen to and on YouTube so I can keep bringing you these amazing women and sharing their stories. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you love it as much as I do. This show is sponsored in part by Jackie Mahaley Photography, where personal branding, photography, and video help women entrepreneurs over 40 feel confident, beautiful, and seen. Start getting paid what you're worth. JackieMahaley.com when it's time to elevate your brand and your image. So welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Secrets of Powerful Women. Amita Nathani is with me, and she's a top fashion designer and founder of Amita Nathani Design House. Thanks for coming on the show, Amita.
Thank you for having me.
I want to talk about because your business, and you are in the luxury resort line, clothing line. So how did you gravitate towards that line? Because it's beautiful. I mean, it's the embroidery. If you wait till everyone hears this and goes on your website. I mean, it's beautiful. Go ahead. How did you get there?
Because this is how it started. I was doing business with Michael Kors.
Oh, wow.
We were manufacturing for his brand, and we did some beautiful styles for him. And one of the designers in his company, and they, of course, we had a partnership with them. We were the only vendor from India manufacturing for Michael Kors. And there was this, designer there, and she just one day said, Amita, you have such beautiful clothes, and you design so much for everyone because you display this in your showroom. And so why don't you start your own line? And I was like, that's a good idea, but I'm not sure. I have time for it? Like, it's hard to kind of, it's a lot of work. And she said, no, I think you should. And one of the reasons for that is that we from India, the fabrics are really, really, very beautiful.
Yes,
they are all the cottons and the natural fiber fabrics, which I like to do for my line, and I can kind of promote it as well a lot. So that's how it started. I was like, okay, let's do this. And the catch here is that we were just thinking. Everybody said that I think the beachwear, the cover-ups would be fine, but I don't think so. You can do bathing suits from India because culturally, it was like, we don't wear them very often, or it's not just like, that kind of a fashion statement in India, right? So she said, well, only the beach cover-ups, right? Dresses and skirts and blouses, all this kind of category, but not swimsuits. And I said, why would you say that? I am going to do swimsuits as well, bathing suits, right? And she said, are you sure? I said, I'm very sure. And so I said, why? I mean, we have to think out of the box. It's possible. I have, the entire team with me. I can make it happen. We can make it happen.
Why not? Right?
Why not? And I said, well, not only the bathing suits, now I'm going to do some artisanal, beautiful embroideries and handwork on top of the, on the bathing suits. And she said, really? And I said, yes. So there we go. We launched this line. She helped me launch it. And we did this beautiful, of course I do embroideries and, manual handwork and everything is there, beading and all that is part of my line. But of course,
Wow.
on the bathing suits was something which was very new to the market. And I think that's what appealed to Lord and Taylor. They were the first ones to launch my line. And then of course it was selling out of Nordstrom, and it was selling out of Four Seasons hotels, golf courses, gift stores, cruises. So it was, it is considered luxurious because it has a lot of hand detailing, handmade, and also the bathing suits look very different because now they have this kind of showstopper kind of a look, for the pool parties. And so, so it became really nice. And all my buyers started keeping my line as well in their catalogs. And, especially for these beautiful embroidered bathing suits, which looked really different. And and so that's how it was, it came into being.
And they are beautiful. And it's what I like, because I was shopping last night actually on your website, and your line is the kind of line where you could go from the beach, the cruise, right to dinner.
Yes.
You just maybe not even change your shoes. I don't know. Put on shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. That was the concept.
Yeah.
From beach to bar, to yes, and to day to dinner. And also I do beach. I have a label which is Beach Bride. So I do also very simple, dresses, wedding dresses, bridal dresses for beach weddings. Just keeping in mind that the weather is very warm and it's sunshine, and how can you just kind of look, minimalistic but still beautiful. So so that's how it started.
Yeah. Oh, it's just beautiful. And I
Thank you.
want to talk about that because you are a world traveler, and on your website, you even have your own travel guide with 7 different locations and where you've been. And it's great because you say like, stay here, go here, it's like the perfect thing. So did traveling inspire or continue to inspire your designs, do you think?
Absolutely. Yes. Traveling absolutely inspires my designs. And because when you travel to different countries, you see different fashion, different culture, different handicrafts, different art. Artistic inspiration is very important for me, and definitely it inspires me a lot, going to different countries and just taking that all in, and then making a fusion, coming back home and taking some inspiration from those places and trying to do something in India and combining both elements and trying to do something different. Yes.
What do you love about traveling? Like, what draws you to it? Because you are a woman in motion. I mean, you're hard to pin down.
Yeah, well, what I like about travel is a lot culture. We are all. It's very nice to see that we are basically all same. Even we come from different cultures, different countries, speak different languages, interested in different kind of foods, different kind of experiences. But basically when you sit down and talk to people you meet, it's just same. It's just the same. We're looking forward to same things in life, right? And that's really, really interesting. And also food, like different cuisines, and different way of dressing up, how women wear, like different things to wear in a resort. And also why I call my line resort wear is because I like that kind of lifestyle.
The laid back.
Yeah. And it's just, you have to come back to that because we all need to strike this balance in life. It's very important. And so, yes, go out in the world, work hard, and then come back and have this kind of, peaceful moment, and rejuvenate yourself, be close to the nature, go experience that, have your own time, have your own me time, I would say, right? So that's the resort, and that's why my clothes look, very kind of, very flowy, and the fabrics are very nice and flowy as well. And so it's just that kind of a lifestyle. I really, yeah.
It's like a flirty, like bohemian,
Yes,
but yet classic and elegant all at the same time.
yeah. Thank you. I know we call it that because I think our lady is that, she's classy, but she likes to have fun, right? And she takes care of herself, and so she wants to look beautiful. So and then kind of show up as a flirty, beautiful, confident, contemporary woman, right? So that's what we're trying to do.
I love it. And it works. And it works.
Thank you.
How do you, though? I mean, Amita, how do you de-stress? How do you find that time? Because you are a very busy woman. I mean, you have a very successful business. So when you reach your level, is there a time you have to carve out the time? How do you do it?
Yes, absolutely. When I travel so much, and yeah, one has to tweak, like one has to be adaptable and try to do things differently. I do take out time every day to meditate. That's one thing I want to do. Take, like at least 60 minutes, 45 to 60 minutes in the morning. I like to do yoga and meditate and do some breathing, and just try to just kind of detach myself from everything and go to that space, which just calms me down and also rejuvenates me. I'm ready to go out in the world again. So I like to do that regularly. And when I'm traveling, I love to exercise, because I think even like 20 minutes, even when I'm in a hotel room, I have different apps now, of course, thanks to technology, that we have apps, So I do use apps also for exercising, and but I love to do Pilates when I'm home. I go to the Pilates classes. So yes, all these things which keep me going, and reading spiritual self-help books. I love to read. I love to hear podcasts about self-improvement. This is kind of a continuous learning is something which I love to do apart from my work, and that kind of rejuvenates me too.
Right, because you never stop. There's always room for growth, no matter what, right? Yeah. Right. What advice? I want to talk about advice too, when you see, women who are thinking about becoming a fashion designer, or going into that field in some way. What kind of advice would you give them? That's hard. That's hard.
I do have two young girls, two young interns in my office, and I'm so happy to have them, because I see them learning. They've been with me for six months, and they studied fashion, and they wanted to join fashion house in New York City, like fashion business. And it's a lot of hard work. So I would say, it's, we have to realize one thing, that no matter what it is, all of us have to work hard. And we cannot be the designer from day one. We have to go through, there is a process. So we learn every day, and then we learn and we master that skill set. And that's how we go from A to Z. And we don't have to give up. I know that sometimes it's overwhelming. It's very demanding business. There's a lot of competition. There is a lot of deadlines. We are working on lines which is for 2027. So there is a lot to cope up with. It's not only just sketching on the paper. Like, we're also looking at what our customers want. What is the price we have to sell it? There's so many ingredients we have to put into this, making a collection and making it a successful story, and sell it, and so that it becomes like it's kind of adopted and liked by people, and they buy it, and so for the young people, I would say, please have patience. Do not give up.
Oh,
Do not give up and work hard, and tomorrow is another day. So, and have a positive perception towards work and towards learning. And, there will be disappointments, there will be many things, many challenges, but there is always a way to work through it. And also, it's always good to learn from mentors, people who have more experience in the field, and then be open-minded, and open. I think to be open is very important, because you kind of learn more, and then it makes you more creative as well, because you're open, and of course you can also create your own ideas, and so that kind of helps the whole creativity within ourselves, I think.
do you think, I mean, how do you think the industry is now? Is it as hard as it was when you started, or is it easier, or is it the same?
It's harder right now, because after COVID years, 2021, I think I've seen so many changes. It is harder, but again, I would say that when things were hard, I just told myself, it's okay. It's okay. It's just a transition, and I don't have to give up. I will just go open my office again when the time is right, and exactly, and just kind of thinking positive, no matter what. Tomorrow is another day, and that help me. But it is definitely harder. There is a lot more there are many changes, many changes which have come into the trade. And one has to be adaptable, and one needs to just one needs to just kind of cope up with those changes, and be flexible and try to do best. And I think these are the things which help you once succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely, I mean, what I've realized, what I've seen, for all the successful people that I've interviewed, and you're one of them, is that you have this successful mindset where you're not going to let the negative voices take over.
Yes.
And that is probably one of the biggest and most important things that I've seen that, everyone does. It's just like, don't listen to the people who say, no, you can't.
Yes.
Just figure it out. Just keep going.
Keep
Right?
going. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the mantra, I would say. Keep going.
Yes. Yeah. Well, what about, I mean, what would you say then, in all of this, is it you rely on your intuition, obviously, right? And as part of your design, but part of your life, right? So is that important for a fashion designer to do, for all fashion designers to do it? I think of, the younger people, or even people my age, who's like, I have so many ideas, whether it's in fashion or makeup or business, any type of business. And then people try to talk you out of it, right? And it's sometimes your closest family and friends who are like, what are you thinking? Don't, like you're not going to get ahead. And I just think it's so important for everyone to just say, keep going. So what motivates you? What keeps you, as you said, you meditate, but what keeps you in that positive mindset when that's hard?
I think I like challenges.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good.
But yeah, that's what keeps me. I think it also becomes kind of a habit. Like it becomes part of your personality. When you work on it, when you know that you want to be strong, and you want to. And I'm not saying that it's going to be always like that. Like there are moments. There are moments when you feel very weak. There are moments when you feel emotional and things like that, right? But there's one thing I want to say: emotional intelligence is very important for us, especially for women, right? Emotional intelligence.
Meaning what? For people who don't know, what do you mean?
Meaning, emotional intelligence is like, it helps you a lot, right? Because that's what navigates you to take decisions, and keeps you going. Right. And then also you can see things logically, right? That it becomes a part of your personality, that you are just get goer. Every day you get up and you say, but today is a new day, and I have to do this. So I think that's important, to feel and be kind of go beyond that fear of failure. You have to just keep going. That's kind of I think it's a training to your own self. It's what you learn and you apply. and that's what keeps, you have to come back to it again and again. And that's why I think you have to remind yourself of these values you want to create for yourself, right? You have to, it's not going to be always the same, but you have to come back to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I would think too, right? Because once you get ahead, you're scared that maybe you won't stay,
Yes,
at the top.
exactly.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
That's another fear that creeps in.
And also there are graphs in business, right? It goes up and down, and there are challenges and there are changes around you. But one thing is, I think, is the consistency within yourself, that you every day you say, this is I'm passionate about it. This is my extension. This work is me. And show up no matter what. Just show up where, no matter what. I think that helps.
All right. So
me, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it's obviously helping you. It's obviously working for you, Amita, because I mean, you're amazing.
Amita, thank you.
Where do you what's the next step? What's the next step? What does 5 years look like? Are you expanding further all around the world, or?
Well, yeah. So recently I've opened my office in London, and I wanted to go back because I started my career with France and Europe and UK. And then I moved to New York, and then I was so absorbed and focused here in this market that now I thought was the right time to probably go back and try to expand my business there. So that's the recent the office which actually started a couple of weeks ago. Next 5, yes, absolutely. The expansion is in my plan. And also I would love to sell my product in Europe and UK as well. Like and then of course do private label business, which is also a major part of my company. I would definitely expand, and I would also like to, do more, like add on more product, which I've already started doing. I have worked a lot and taken a big step into sustainability from India. Taken a lot of initiative on that, and that is what I also want to spread, because it's the organic fabrics and it's good for the planet, and it's the fabrics which are eco-friendly, environmental friendly. Those are the fabrics which I'm using in my business, and that's the expansion I'm going to take more and more and add more product, and maybe open another office in next, I don't know, 3 to 4 years. But I have to make London successful first. And then, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, Amita, this is it. That's it for us. We're all done.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I want to say thank you to you. I mean, head to AmitaNathani.com to check out all her beautiful luxury resort wear. I'm personally the white skirt with the blue. I'm already, it's all me. I'll have the link on my podcast, everybody. And Amita, thank you for coming on the show and sharing your story. I think
thank you for having me, and thank you to all the listeners as well. And thank you for the team.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
I'm Jill Conway. Thank you for listening to the show Celebrating Incredible Women. I hope you're inspired to pursue your own goals, believe in yourself, and dream bigger. Your voice matters, and your story can help others. I hope you join me next time.